Mace finally breaks down why him and Charlamagne the God got beef and why we haven't seen him on the Breakfast Club.
I'm gonna tell you a time that was really that really used to bother me. There was a guy up at Hot 97 or Power 105. Which one is Charlamagne on? That's Power 105. Yeah. So it seemed like every time something came up, Charlamagne would just talk about my name, like just go in a negative direction. I didn't know what was the connection that we had or where our paths crossed or what happened, but it just seemed like he always had a negative take about me. And it was something I remembered even when I started doing journalism. So when I hear people say certain things about me, I kind of try to remember that same thing. Like I never met this guy. I never, I don't think we've crossed paths. I don't think I know anybody that he knows, but every time. And I think it's possible for you to just not like somebody.
A lot of the lore from that era, like 2016, 2017, 2015, has been lost. But there was an era where the Breakfast Club was actively trying to turn Mase into the clown of the internet. And looking back, the beef was kind of confusing because you didn't really understand what angle they was coming from or what exactly they had against Mase. It kind of felt like they were cool with everybody who didn't like Mase, like Diddy and Cameron. So they kind of just treated Mase like public enemy number one. Because when looking back, a lot of the critiques to me was kind of like non-issues and non-factors. It was kind of like, why do y'all care about this?
So I remember one time I called DJ Envy and I was like, yo, if somebody's consistently talking about you, and at that time I had no music out, I had nothing out for you to keep talking about me. It's when you personally make it your business to tear somebody down. That's when it's a problem. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Like you're personally making it your business. You're going out of your way. This person is not on a radar. They're not doing anything in the public side, At that point, that merits the number one show in the country to be talking about this person, right? When you're hot, you talk about things that's hot. If they're not hot, you shouldn't even be talking about it because it's not relevant to the show. And I would sit there and be like, man, why does this guy just keep talking about me? So I think that's when it's wrong. When you're consistently harping on a person, like you're making it your business.
I'm not going to say that Charlamagne the God never offered up a valid critique of Mase, because there was a time where Mase was complaining about like Diddy owning his masters or his publishing. And Charlamagne the God came on the radio and said, bruh, like Mase, you signed over your publishing for $20,000. You renegotiated, got an advance, refused to drop an album after getting the advance, and you owe Diddy money. Why would Diddy give you back the publishing when you already owe him money? So to me, that was a valid critique. But there was a time where Charlamagne the God was just wilding on Mase. And if you guys are aware of the lore, you know that Mase actually pulled up on Charlamagne the God at some point.
Mini altercation.
Yeah, I said the same thing everybody was saying. Everybody was questioning Mase's move to a pastor and then back to rap and then going super gangster with G Unit. Like we had, yes, like that was something that everybody was saying. But, when me and Mase ran into each other, he brought in something different to the equation. And that's why conversations are important, because in my mind, I'm like, you tripping off me for something everybody else was saying. Mase thought that I was leading a blackball charge against him in New York City for New York City radio. This is his exact words. Mase said, you and some other people are leading a charge to blackball me in the business. And I'm like, no. It's just like, yo, I haven't heard no hot music. Nobody can blackball you. If you had hot records and people was like, yo, ain't nobody listening to Mase.
I don't even know where the blackball thing Mase got it from, but like clearly and obviously the blackball thing was not one of Mace's like main concerns, because Mase is still talking about it to this day. And Mace's main concern, as you guys just heard, is Charlamagne the God kicking his back in consistently. Yo, I was watching like a recent Vlad TV and Charlamagne the God interview from like years ago. And, when you hear Charlamagne the God talk about Mase, to me, like looking back at that time, it was kind of like, that's just how Charlamagne the God is. But looking back now, it's like, bruh, while talking crazy about Mase. And Charlamagne the God was talking crazy about Mase because Mase, I guess, started making music again after being a pastor. And I'm like, okay, like that's strange, but why do we care? Like, why do we give a damn that Mase is now doing gangster rap after being a pastor?
So explain what exactly happened with you and Mase.
Same thing I just told you. Somebody approaches me, upset over comments that I've made. The comments I made on this Vlad couch.
On the Vlad couch.
And I've made on the radio, you know, that I just think Mase is a hypocrite. And his career is, you can't reheat cold French fries. That's what I say when it comes to your career. You can't reheat cold French fries, Mase. Like, you had your time.
Right.
I can't remember what rapper it was. I think maybe it was Kanye. He was like, yo, you can't leave when you on top. That's how Mase up or something like that. I don't remember what rapper. Some rapper said a line like that. But it's like, that's what he did. So it's like, yo, you can't go from rap to doing something as extreme as being a pastor, then come back to rap. And when he first came back, the first comeback was kind of interesting because it was the first time he had done it, and he was saying he wanted to deliver a positive message, and you know.
Yeah, Welcome Back was kind of a cool song.
Yeah, and then he was on the Jesus Walks remix, which made total sense.
Made sense, yeah.
So we was paying attention, and then he left again, went back to the church. But then you come back with G on it, bruh?
Yeah, that was weird.
Trying to be Murder Mase again? Out of here.
Talking about how...
Me personally, I wouldn't give a damn if he wanted to be a drill rapper after being a pastor. I just don't care that much. But at the time, I feel like rap conversations were more important. People were having like discussions about top fives and top threes and people making returns. Nowadays, bro, it's all about salacious drama. People barely talk music anymore, but at the time, music talks were important. Now, personally, I wouldn't care, but, you know, I can't say Charlamagne the God is lying. Like, everything he's saying is the 100% truth, but I can understand a dude saying this consistently on the radio can look a certain way. Now, Charlamagne the God would even say during this interview that Mase ran up on him and tried to get tough, but they ran Mase out the restaurant. I would imagine that's when Charlamagne the God was rolling around with Wax. Wax is like, what, 6'4", 260 pounds. I could very easily see how Wax would run Mase from out the restaurant. Now, Charlamagne the God got a little bit more spicy during his interview because this was after the altercation. Charlamagne the God told Mase to stop rapping, give it up, and go back to the church, but he won't be a pastor anymore. He got to start back being an usher.
He said some slick stuff about Brandy, I think.
Yeah, I'm the guy getting head from Brandy, whatever it was. It was like, yo, nobody's checking for that. You know what I mean? So then you do whatever he left again after G Unit, now you back again as a rapper. No. Right. Sorry, we're not trying to hear it. So he approaches me in Miami. First, he walks by me one time. Like I walk by him, I'm looking like, oh, that's Mase. I'm just going to get something to eat. I don't think nothing of it. Then I'm in the restaurant. I see him. He's like, yo. I look. He's like, yo, what's up? You know, it's cool. I'm like, what's up? He even gave me a pound. And then he's like, what's up? With his chest out. I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, back up off me. And then my guy runs him out the restaurant. Like, you know, get the out. You know, and then he wants to talk. Yo, I just wanted to talk. Well, approach me like you just want to talk. Because we can have this, because I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you on Vlad's couch. The same thing I've told you on the radio to you. And that's what I told him. And the thing about Mase was like, he felt like he was getting blackballed by DJs in New York City. And he said, I'm leading the blackballing. Number one, I don't have no reason to blackball you. And number two, I said, Mase, it's not about being blackballed. It's just that this ain't the 90s no more, bro.
Right.
That's what I told him. This ain't the 90s anymore. You're not the same guy. These new kids don't know you. You got to start from scratch. Yeah, if you come with heat, people will with it. You're obviously not coming with heat. You can't reheat cold French fries, man.
I mean, Cameron's a good example of someone who came from that same era, but has managed to kind of consistently stay.
Cam has stayed consistent.
You know
Fabulous has stayed consistent.
Yep.
You know why? Because they've been here. They didn't retire to go be pastors.
Lil Wayne
been around for 18 plus years. Jay-Z. Nas. Yeah. Mase, you yourself. Nobody you. Then he did the corny on Instagram where, you know, we saw that he had bought millions and millions of followers, and then he dropped to like 200,000. Then you delete your page, you always run it. That's what Mase does. He just disappears. You always deleting something. Only thing you know what he really needs to delete? His rap career. and
that's the point I feel like Mase got a problem with. Right now, I don't know if Charlamagne the God is saying this now because he ran to Mase, or if he was already on his time. But if he was on his time already, if he was saying this on the radio consistently, that's where I feel like Mase got an issue. it's one thing to kind of have your music opinion, but then once you take it further, like, man, stop rapping, man, quit your rap career, get out of here. That's where I feel like it's gone too far. Now, I can't recall if Mase have done a Breakfast Club interview. I doubt it. I doubt that Mase have done one recently. You know, they're still currently actively beefing. I think they still currently have an issue. Now, right now, I feel like Charlamagne the God is like a changed person. But certain things, man, like when you on the radio for what, a decade plus and you say certain things about certain people, man, yo, people don't forget it. Like, even though, like, right now, Mase is successful, Mase is doing this thing, Mase still remembers a time when he didn't have a platform and he couldn't express himself. And, you know, he didn't feel like he could really combat the narratives, and Charlamagne the God was the one leading the charge. So it's very understandable why Mase ain't really rocking with him, especially if you is on a platform as big as Vlad TV saying I should quit music. You don't got to officially blackball me from the music industry. This is enough to make people not want to tune into me.
And try to find your way back to the church. And you have to start off as an usher or something, because ain't nobody gonna believe you as no pastor. So you got to go back to the church, start off as an usher, and work your way back to the pastor thing, because we don't believe you.
Maybe a valet, the valet parker, maybe. You know,
Word.
back, you know, park some cars, maybe.
You know the problem with Mase? The problem with Mase is the problem with a lot of people, period. They're not authentic. At the end of the day, I don't care if people think you're full of shit. People think you're the realest person in the world as long as you're consistent at whatever it is that they think about you. He's not consistent. He's not authentic. We see through the whether it's you buying fake followers or whether it's you, we don't believe you when you rap because you've disappeared and vanished and came back, so you're really not committed to this. We don't believe you as a pastor because you leave your congregation at the drop of a dime, so you're not authentic. We don't believe it. So that's why Mase can't make a comeback, because nobody believes him anymore. You can to people if you're just consistent.
You consistently
Right. We see the bull. You don't even try to be consistent at your like, there's plenty of fake rappers out here. There's plenty of rappers out here who faking and doing shit know they're not doing, but they're just consistently faking. So it's just like, all right, let him do his thing.
It's hard for me to really call Mase petty or say Mase should get past this, because people have said things about me that I'm never getting past, all right? There's been people who done talk trash about me on their platforms and then try to, like, be my homie outside of you. Like, I'm like, bro, we would never be cool. Like, we would never be straight. If you came on your platform and lied on me or slandered my name or defamed me, we would never be cool, bro. Yo, like, I seen one dude, like, was on YouTube, like, the other day, and he was inviting me to come and podcast with him, and I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, have you forgotten all the lies you done told on me, bro? We would never, ever, ever in life be cool. I don't know. So I can't say Mase is being too petty, but at this point, it's like a Mase and Charlamagne the God sit down would break the internet. Again, if they have done it, I just can't recall. All right, but y'all let me know. Do you like have Mase and Charlamagne God done a sit down? I don't think so at all. Right, I can't find one. And I don't think it was on the Breakfast Club at all, right? Mase is expressing that he still he still has the issue. He's still holding that grudge against Charlamagne the God. So let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? Do you guys believe that Charlamagne the God has done enough to where Mase is justified in still having a grudge? And if you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here on my screen to find out why this man is accusing J. Cole of some really outrageous things. I covered the allegations here. Is really, really, really bad allegations. Now, I'm covering these allegations because it's news. I'm not co-signing it. I'm just covering it and documenting it. So click on this J. Cole video if you want to watch another good video. And, bro, if you enjoy my content, please click the hype button below this video to send me a hype. Liking and subscribing helps, but hypes are how you push my video in the algorithm. This is the new tool by YouTube. So if you love my channel, please send me a hype. You get 3 hypes a week. I'm going to see you guys in this video, okay? I'm out of here, folks. Peace.